Welcome back. So today we are going to have a look at the same meme page. There's so much to information in this, and I think you all need to be aware of it. So what they did was back in July last year, they posted one of my old videos where, by the looks of things, this is my I had quite a few people. I was racistly attacked when I went to Sanctuary Hotel in Sydney. I was abused, and I thought I'm just going to tell my story. And so Asian Australians attacked me. I was abused. Okay, I made a video about it. And so this meme page, Sydney Asian Memes for Selective School Teens. Sydney Asian Memes. It's not a white people group, and it is an Asian group. It is segregating society along racist lines, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but when I say Sydney Asian Memes, it doesn't necessarily scream out white Australian man welcome, does it? It doesn't say, oh, you're welcome. It says, well, you're not welcome. This is only for us Asians, right? So they wanted to have a go at me because I complained about racism. Now, the interesting thing here is that if anybody else complains about racism, they're taken seriously to some extent. They're not. People don't make memes out of them and attack them. People don't just attack them. But if you're a white Australian and you're a victim of racism and you go out public like I have, you're laughed at because you're not allowed to complain. You're not allowed to complain at all. And so let's have a look at the when you take your white co-workers to Sank. Now, this meme page is in fact run by the CCP, in my opinion. If you have a look through here, we're going to go through all the comments and see what they think about racism against white people. I think it's very relevant to you guys. This is far more valuable information than you're going to get from the mainstream media. This is real data on what people who you live with privately think, and are now at the point where they feel that they can publicly say such things. And to me, it's a double insult because I was a victim of racism. I went out public to complain about it, and then I was attacked again for complaining about the racism. And I think that they might even twist it so that if I'm a victim of racism and then I complain about the racism, I become a racist for complaining about you being racist to me. You get where this is going. This is unfortunately how it works in Australia, where there is no way out, especially if you live in Sydney. So what we're going to do is this is the photo of my video, and then whoever runs this meme page has said, but seriously though, imagine thinking the little boys and little girls who go Sank have the social ability to speak to white people, let alone a stranger. Oh my fucking god, if you're going to make up things, at least make them believable. So it mustn't be believable. I just made it up, apparently. And there's 100 people that agree. Daniel Stitz was care, studies a Bachelor of Medical, Doctor of Medicine at UNSW. If someone complains about racism, what you do is you attack them again and call them a liar. And this guy, who's a future doctor in Australia, cares that this comment was left. He's caring. What he's saying is that you're right. White people deserve to be attacked with racism. Tommy Kwan, yep, another person who cares about it. That means that he hates white people. If you're a victim of racism, you're not allowed to complain. There's no hearts here. There's a lot of thumbs up. The top ones are Elise Wong. She's a Catholic, Australian Catholic University. Wonder if your God believes that racist people who are victims of racism should be smashed even harder. Elise, you're Wong. Screw you people. Makes me angry looking at this. Studies at UNSW. Raymond, screw you and all your racist friends. It's amazing how all these people, when you look through it, you're like, hang on. They're all like Ray Zheng, immigrants to Australia. They're the majority, by the way. If you look around Sydney, Sydney is Chinese. It's funny how they actually just discount what you're saying. If you're a victim of racism, you're lying. But if you have any of you guys been to Sydney lately, it is literally Asia. There's no white people left, so therefore Asian people are the majority. So therefore it's more probable that you would be a victim of racism. Gee. Kingston Wu lives in Adelaide. Jamie Cheng. Here we go. Michael Fong. The Macquarie Ancient History Association. He thinks that if a white person complains about racism, they that's what happens when you thumbs this up. When someone says, but seriously, imagine, if you're going to make things up, at least make it believable. That's what this is saying. It's calling me a liar. It's saying that I never received any racism. So these 105 people believe that more than they believe my claim that I was a victim of racism. So that's what these people are doing. So that's what Michael Fong believes. He believes that any white person that complains about racism, especially me obviously, is lying. Was he born in Australia? Well, he clearly hates white people, because I'm just a liar. Everything I say is a lie, clearly. Amy Fan studied Rainer. John Lee, welcome to Australia, buddy. I'm glad that you got a job at Insurance Australia Group. I'm glad we helped you out, and I'm glad you're working against the people who are actually born here, and you're racist enough to attack them the same way by joining up to these meme pages. Yeah, you just look at the names. Grace Chen. UNSW has clearly produced some winners. Jackson Tran, he's a frequent viewer of this page. Yeah, it's funny. Lives in Melbourne, from China. In fact, I think that they lie. I'm not sure if they don't believe that I was a victim of racism. I think, if anything, they're enjoying the pain because they want to hurt white people. I think that's why these people might actually be laughing. Like, if you go through Christine Zhao, Christine Zhu, same name as Jamie Zhu. Fuck Jamie. Adrian Law, and Who knows where he's from? Dylan Park. He's Korean. Studied at UNSW. Tina Feng. When you look at them, who's this guy? A.N. Zaman. Was he? Yeah, Ronald Didio. He's definitely not Brazilian. Hillary Tran, sorry. Study at UNSW. Yeah, get those white people. We hate them. That's why you see groups of Asian people in groups, excluding other people. Judy Yong lives in Sydney and she works at Canterbury Leagues Club. She thinks it's funny when someone's a victim of racism and then a meme page attacks them like this. It's amazing that, imagine if the roles were reversed. An Asian person was a victim of racism and then they went public and they made a video talking about it just to, build some awareness about it. And then white people pages, which I don't know what they are. I don't think we're allowed to have our own pages, but pages run by white people took screenshots and then just laughed at them. Said, "You're lying. You're not a victim of racism. Screw you." And hundreds of people started to just laugh at that person. This is the type of abuse that I have suffered for years by just explaining what I'm dealing with here. This guy studied a Bachelor Nursing at Torrens University, Australia. Andrew Wong. There we go. Medical studies. He's going to be a Doctor of Medicine. Studied at UNSW. This is your future, people. I dare say if a white person comes in for treatment, he'll probably let them die because he hates white people. You'd have to be so racist to laugh at the post calling me a liar. Welcome to Australia, David Wang. I'm glad you're here. Very funny. James Liu thinks it's funny. All these people think it's really funny. So when we go through, oh my god, why do I get the feeling this is the same guy of Asian colony fame? The funny thing is, let's have a look at this person. Just because you racistly attack me because I'm white doesn't mean you're right. Helena. Just because you're attacking me doesn't make you right. It really doesn't. Yeah, he must have been playing pool in the corner. Alan. That's funny. What we need to do is we need to make sure that the white people hide in the corner because they're not allowed to roam freely around Sanctuary Hotel. Attacked for being too old. Thanks, Jimmy. There's maybe Sanctuary Hotel should leave that on the door. There's an age barrier. If you're too old, you're not allowed to go in there and spend money in Sanctuary. Maybe everyone should know that, and we shouldn't spend any money in Sanctuary except for the racist Asians. So this guy, Bao, studied at UNSW. You're seeing a pattern here, guys. He said, "Miss you, bro." So Eric, and he replied, "I hate chicken and rice. Thought of you." Yeah, Yasmin thinks it's funny. Oh, here we go. Charlie, finally some good news. Finally some good news. So, Charlie thinks that racism against white people is good news. Is this good news, Charlie? I wonder if Megan, Rose, Matt, they all think that it's good news that white people are getting attacked. Charlie, 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 you're a racist scumbag. You're clearly a racist scumbag, aren't you? You're a scumbag. Imagine that. Someone's a victim of racism, they post it publicly, and then literally these Nazis come in and say, "This is great news. This is great news. We need to get those filthy white people." Please get around this. I can't even believe this is real. But it is real, Yasmin. That's a funny thing. If you're a pretty white girl in Australia, you are unaware of how much racism white men suffer. So this is a big issue with Australia, is that a lot of the power has been given to the women. Women control Australia. It's a very feminist country, and that is not like an equality thing. That's a power thing. So we have a lot of Asian men coming to Australia that want to bang girls like Yasmin. And so in Yasmin's little petri dish of little blind, no idea about how the world really works, she thinks that no one's racist because everyone wants to bang me. Whenever I go to sanctuary, everyone's so kind to me. That's because everyone wants to bang you, Yasmin. But when you have a white son, if you do, he's going to be treated like shit, and it's going to be partially your fault. So Yasmin, fuck you. Fuck you, Yasmin. I can't believe this is real. It is real, Yasmin. Oh, here we go. Anthro Yap says, "Did this happen to you, sir?" And David, well, he didn't reply. This is why the ambulance came. Very funny. Susanna Lau. Very funny. Racism against white people is very funny. Very, very funny. According to Tommy Kwong, this is beautiful. Tommy. What do we got? We got Korean in the background. Oh, I'm not surprised. Yes, he's Korean. He's a racist Korean. There's so many racist Koreans. You have no idea. There's so many racist Koreans in Australia. Go to Eastwood. They are literally the most racist scumbags in Australia. They're probably more racist than Chinese. But he thinks it's funny. I mean, this is beautiful, Reese. And he tagged his friend Reese, who's obviously a white guy. And Reese wrote, "Me in real life." Is that funny to you guys at home? So Reese says that this is me in real life. So Reese has obviously suffered quite a lot of racism himself. He agrees that, well, he knows how it feels to suffer the way I have suffered. But Tommy here thinks it's beautiful. He thinks it's great. he thinks this is beautiful. It's very funny. And Reese, yeah, oh, okay, Tommy cried. Okay, there we go. So Tommy realized that it wasn't funny. Oh, Tommy, you got a little wake up call, did you? You realized that being racist to a minority, which is white people in Australia, being racist to a minority is not funny, Tommy. Oh, still, I don't care. Fuck you, Tommy, piece of shit. But for you guys, I think that was an interesting video on how Asian people in Australia that follow this meme page, they really hate white people. They really do. I think that's really interesting, just to watch what they really think, read their comments, have a close look at them. I think that's really interesting to me. But for you guys at home, I'm going to go through one by one all these memes and all the people that have liked and disliked these comments, left comments and like these posts. I think this is real data on what people think in the country. It's not twisted, manipulated. This is a real meme page run by real people living in Australia, and I think that this is real data, real interesting stuff. And I'd like to thank my patrons and Ben for I'd like to thank Ben for the donation and my patrons for supporting me, and that's the only reason why I'm back making videos. See you guys tomorrow.